What's up, family? So, my name is Nicholas Lamar McNary. I come from Memphis, Tennessee, and I'm giving you guys an update of my first month as a self-published author. All right, so as you may know now that my first book, The Imperfect Brother, has been doing amazing on Amazon and in real life. So I want to give you guys a kind of a little a journey to what it took to get me here, and then at the end I'll tell you exactly how many books that I published in this first 30 days of being an author. So I became a poet. I'll say around the time I was about 22 years old, kind of late to the scene. But as I started to perform and I started to meet other poets, I began to find a passion that I've never had before. My first love was basketball, but I can truly say that I love poetry more than I even love to play ball, and that's saying a lot. So as I became a poet, I'm getting pushed by this urge to be the best poet ever. That's one thing that rings in my head over and over, is be the best ever. Not just the best in Memphis or the best in Tennessee. I want to be the best in the world ever. So that's what's been pushing me. And I know to solidify my legacy that I had to write a book. The question was, what do I write a book about? Because people have been telling me to write a poetry book since I started. My mom has been pushing me, and all my friends and my colleagues, they always tell me, we need a book, we need an album. So this year I made it my business to publish my first book. So the idea struck me last year, 2023. Well, so I had this idea for a poetry comic book, since one of my loves is also poetry, basketball, anime, comic books, and things like that. So I wanted to kind of mix everything up and put my original spin on my own comic book characters. As you can see, shout out my guy Marthius Wade. He's my illustrator. These awesome characters I could have done without. So everybody go follow Marthius Wade. So the book is about a family of 5 brothers being raised by a single mother, based on a true story. My mother, Loretta McNary, and my 5 brothers. So the thing is, I know how I wanted to write it, and I know who the characters were gonna be, but I had no clue about plot structure and different acts and things like that. So I did a lot of research. I say at the end of last year, I was just doing a lot of research on how a story is written. I researched people like Nikki Giovanni, James Baldwin, George R.R. Martin from Game of Thrones. Just a lot of people, just to get acquainted with writing as much as I could, because I've been writing poems for a decade, but I've never written a story like a book. And I knew it. I wanted the whole story to be a poem throughout the whole thing. I know I needed the whole thing to be a poem. So we were on a trip, and I think we were going to Louisville, Kentucky, and I took this binder with me. And on the trip, it was about a 5-hour trip, and I just started to write. I just started to write anything that would come to my head, and so this one thing came to mind, is to relay Memphis to a fantasy world. If Memphis was a fantasy world, what would that look like? So I came up with a world of thieves, because it's just something I've seen all my life. Not to say people were all bad people, but scratching to survive, stealing is one thing that I saw in common with everybody, every race. So it's just something that was rampant in Memphis. So comes this world of thieves, where the culture and the kids are taught to steal, and the old people steal, and the young people steal. I have a quote in the book that says, "You could feel it in the breeze. The elderly, adults, toddlers, and teens on the top of your nose, hidden underneath poles, and even behind the trees, there are thieves. So it just goes to show you that it's a thief everywhere in the city, and this family with a single mother, 5 brothers, they are prohibited from ever stealing. So that's a summary. So I dropped the book November 15th, okay? November 15th was my day. I had everything ready. I went through all my drafts, and now it's time to publish on Amazon. I did that November 15th. So I don't think I got a sale until November 17th. I think that was my first sale. Someone brought a book. I'm not sure if it was my mom, which it probably was my mom, because she bought 2 books at once. But whoever the first person was, I really appreciate you. So on Amazon, and I'm gonna put the proof of this so y'all believe. So on Amazon, as of right now, 30 days, I have sold 53 books on Amazon. And in real life, I also sold 20 books. That'll give me a total of 73 books sold in my first 30 days.